Hi friends, today let's talk about a transition from tips and tricks to a process. Many times I interact with a lot of startups all around the world and heard a statement from them that, hey Vinay, can you share some tips and tricks with me which can grow my business? I'm at a stuck stage. Help me to figure it out, a different line or different strategy, or show me a path which can be a better understanding. And I always smile that, yes, if it is 10 years ago, yes, I could have given you tips and tricks. But standing today, when Archili is growing by more than 100% year on year basis, I can share some very good insights to this. Number one, business is not a tips and tricks. Sorry, that's a myth. Business is purely oriented on a process. Now, process, if anybody has worked on business canvas, there's a 9 different blocks into that. You can do a whole research on each 9 block, and each block itself has a lot of subparts available. It all starts with the process called value proposition. Identifying value proposition is always a tricky part. I talk to the people, they say, hey, my value proposition is I'm selling this product. I said, no, that's not a value proposition. That's a product. Value proposition is what value your customer is perceiving, what pains and gains you address of the customer, how you address it, what is the gains the customer is going to get end of a day. So this is the process. If anybody want to do it, they must do something called value proposition canvas exercise to identify what value you provide. It is not what product I sell. Second level is people have no idea how to identify customers. 90% cases startup says, hey, who is going to buy your product? Either they say whole world or either they are very hyper local. Both are incorrect. You need to have a very clear demographic available. Hey, that's a financial status of the person. That may be a marriage status. Depending on what product you are offering, it is a business product or consumer product. If it is a business, what type of business you are looking for, what human beings or employee count they have, what geography they are. I normally give me example, hey, my English teaching course, whole world is gonna use this one. I said, really? Within US itself? Oh, no, they people know English. I said, okay, let's demarcate very well. Sometimes people say I'm selling some course, which is there, and I always smile, okay, is everybody gonna buy your course? Even in China? Even you don't understand Chinese? Oh no, that's a language barrier. Okay, let us figure it out where you can sell. If I'm selling a HR tech product, like take an example of Archili, originally which I normally say at that time, hey, 10 years back, this is what I used to say, hey, everybody where the resumes are, they're going to use me. Today it is not. Today we have a very clear demarcation. Hey, they must have this many manpower, they must be using this type of technology, that much awareness they must have. Everybody cannot use me, or they cannot afford me. There's a question of affordability. I want to make money here. So that is a process, not a tips and tricks I'm giving you. Channels, which channels should I use? People normally see that, hey, one of another guy, he made his website and is overnight successful. And I smile. I said, yes, website is one of the channels. You can make your website, but do you think how to bring a footfall on your website? How the visitors is going to come to your website? Somebody created a one store in some mall and he's successful. Fair enough. Which city he selected? How many people around them? It's a hyperlocal stuff you're talking about. So it is a pure process. How to identify customer, where your customer goes, that defines your channel. How customers want to listen to you, that defines your customer relationship and feedback mechanism. And then the rest of the business canvas comes along with that. Business is just like a Rubik cube if anybody has solved it. There's a billions of ways you can unstructure it. But you need to follow a process, step-by-step process, so that Rubik cube from unstructured stuff become a structured stuff. This is where this whole mechanism of success method are there. Now I can elaborate in a much massive way. You're doing a product development or a coding. It is SDLC you have to follow, or agile model you have to follow. And agile is a process, it's not a tips and tricks. Sales is a process, either straight line or a funnel or whatsoever you want to follow. Make sure you know it by heart what process of sales you're talking. I'm communicating with customers, which process and which top of the funnel, middle funnel, bottom of the funnel, what communication I have to do, and I must know that one. I'm in HR, what is my intent outcome they're expecting, and each outcome has a process for that. Maybe it is onboarding, maybe it is engagement, maybe it is succession planning, maybe it is the knowledge management. You need to understand the process by heart and then execute it. It is not at all our tips and tricks. Maybe it is accounting, maybe it is a procurement, maybe it is a sales, maybe it is technology, maybe it is a customer support, maybe it is a data analysis, maybe it is a marketing, maybe it is branding. Each and everything is a process. Not only here we end, these are just departments. Even for a CEO to grow a company, to set up a vision, it is a process involved. How you visualize what you're going to do in 2025 or 2023. Today I'm sitting in 23. So what we're going to do in 2025, 2 years down the line. As a CEO, there's a process to identify, visualize top line, visualize what functions you're doing, visualize whom you're selling, visualize what customer base you have. Then do you have a product line for that? If not, how you structure that product into the execution, how you do planning session with your team, how you collect the knowledge from your team and your customers, how you curate all the stuff, club it out, shut it down, and say actionable items are this, and how you track those items so that not only as a CEO, right at the last mile of the company, everybody follows that one. It is a process. I was reading a book called Play Bigger. It is very easy to say, hey, I dreamed something to do it. But when you read this book or Mark Moses' book, which is Think Big, Playing Bigger, right? Yeah, Making Big Difference. That's his book. If you read these books, you'll see they not only talk about think bigger, they also talk about how to translate that bigger vision or bigger dream to actionable items, a small chunking actionable items. And once you translate whole that big vision to small chunking items, now you can start working on one by one on them. And that makes you a better CEO, that makes you a better entrepreneur. Do read these books, I must recommend. And anything you want to do, don't look for tips and tricks when next time you go to any CEO meeting or advisory sessions from your mentors. Tips and tricks is okay, but at a minor level, not on a broader level. Make sure you understand the process. Make sure you're open to go for that boring process, learning or coaching or a training, and change in your belief system, change in your myths, change in your the habits you have before you start executing. If you follow the process correctly, reward is there. And unfortunately, I cannot tell you what is the process because each business is a billions of ways you have a permutation combination going on. Each business has a different positioning statements. Each business has a different unique USPs available. Each business has a complex customer base, persona or target customers, you call it. We all have to work on that. Great. Thank you very much. Echo.